From the final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the invitation to gate A9. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A9. From the final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the invitation to gate A9. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A9. From the final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the invitation to gate A9. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A9. From the final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the invitation to gate A9. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A9. From the final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the invitation to gate A9. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A9. From the final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the invitation to gate A9. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A9. From the final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the invitation to gate A9. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A9. From the final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the invitation to gate A9. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A9. final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the indication to gate A now. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A now. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the indication to gate A now. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A now. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the indication to gate A now. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A now. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see the indication to gate A now. Last and final call for passenger remaining and Sherry traveling to Milan on BA 572. Please see immediately to gate A now. Last and final call for passenger Curtis and Golden traveling to Village on BA 9232. Please see immediately to gate A42.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for waiting. We would now like to continue boarding for all economy class customers.
Cabin crew, prepare for takeoff.
Hello and welcome aboard our virtual trip. My name is Richard Stilgo and I'm delighted to be setting off with you on this journey. Today we'll be travelling to Nepal, a country where WaterAid has worked since 1987. My wife Annabelle and I have been supporting WaterAid for over 30 years and had the great privilege of travelling to Nepal with them in 2017. We saw for ourselves the power that nature can wreak on essentials like clean water, and we met those rebuilding after the earthquake. Now, after a lifetime in music, I am naturally drawn to new and surprising musical experiences in other countries. And one evening, we encountered a local musician with this strange Nepalese violin-like instrument from which he conjured beautiful sounds. It's called a sarangi, and I bought one, convinced that my carefully honed musical skills would enable me to master it when I got home. And after a few hopeless efforts, the family complained, and the instrument now spends its life hanging attractively on the kitchen wall. At the other end of the kitchen is the sink with a tap that provides me and my family with pure drinking water 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. But the sarangi on the opposite wall reminds me that in Nepal many people have water for only an hour or two a day, and many more have no water nearby at all. And to think that climate change is now challenging these communities further is beyond imagination. Meanwhile, COVID has reminded us all how much we need these essentials to protect our loved ones. So today I want to introduce you to WaterAid Nepal's Mani Kamachere, so he can take us on a journey to meet the people of Dolakha. Through his photography, film and interviews, he'll reveal their challenges, setbacks and hopes as they work with WaterAid to get clean water. So for now, sit back and let us take you to Nepal.
Hello everyone and Namaste. I'm Mani from Nepal. I work for WaterAid. Today I would like to welcome you to this special virtual visit.
In my job as a Voices from the Field officer, I speak with many people from the communities that WaterAid works with. I gather interviews, photos and videos to show people's situations, the challenges they face and the difference clean water can make. Today, we'll be visiting some of the communities WaterAid has been working with, and I look forward to introducing you to some of the people I have met along the way.
There will be a chance to ask questions in the live Q&A at the end of this visit.
But before we start our tour, I want to welcome you personally to my beautiful home country of Nepal. In Nepal, visitors are held in very high esteem. In fact, we have a custom of treating visitors like gods. And we are very proud of our good spirit and strong community bonds. You may know a bit about the dramatic landscape we have here. In many ways, it dominates the way we live and work. Geographically, we have three main regions: Himalayan region, hilly region, and a lowland region. Weather-wise, we have everything from freezing temperatures in the Himalayas to scorching heat in the lowland region. Climate change and the changing weather patterns has brought about unpredictable monsoons and magnified flooding, landslides and drought, which we will talk about later. I live in the capital Kathmandu with my family, and during lockdown, I have been making the most of my exercise bike and doing some cooking, everything from donuts to curries. We make great curries in Nepal. Cooking and sharing food also really helps me connect with the communities I visit. Another great way to connect is by learning some key phrases in the local language. It makes it much easier for me to get my work done. In this tour, you will be able to vote for some of the things you would like to see and experience. So when you are asked, simply type your choice in the chat box.
So which aspect of the Nepali culture would you like to learn right now?
If you would like to learn some useful Nepali phrases, type phrase in the chat box. Or if you would like to watch me cooking a traditional Nepali chicken curry, type curry in the chat box now.
Thank you.
1 minute. 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 1
Namaste. Welcome to Mani's Cookery Show. These wonderful people are helping me here for the kitchen and everything is ready here now. I'm going to make a chicken curry. So I'm going to fry this green chili first. So now it's time to fry the onion. I'm going to put it. So I'm going to follow this local style where they fry the garlic and ginger paste first. Puksai dile. Now it's time to put chicken. I'm going to put now this turmeric powder. Gives a very good color. So let me put this cumin powder a bit. Okay, we're almost there now. So the chicken is completely cooked now and it's ready to eat. Good. Really tasty. I never thought that this is going to be this tasty. So this is our local chicken, I know, local chicken.
The region we are visiting today is called Dolakha, 135 km northeast of Kathmandu, and our work here is taking place in two communities called Kalinchok and Shailung. Shailung is in the south and is known locally as the land of 100 hills. Today we will mainly be traveling to Kalinchok, a lush green area high in the mountains of northern Dolakha. Lack of access to clean water is an ongoing struggle for many people in Dolakha. Walking to collect water can take several hours every day, leaving less time for school, farming, or other things. The steep mountain paths used to collect water are also a real challenge and can lead to serious injuries. Karun, who is 16, is on his way to collect water right now. We can go with him as he shows us the route he has to walk.
My goodness. Karun, hat. Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay. So whenever his water pipe gets damaged or blocked, he has to come here to get the water. Okay, he's saying this is the water source. The pipe down.
Even after this dangerous journey, the water source is unprotected, meaning it can easily become contaminated, making Karun and his family sick.
So this is the water source, and if you see the pipes, these pipes are directly connected to these water source and they collect water from these pipes. So it's not protected well. Okay. So he has done filling the gagri.
But there is work underway to make journeys like this a thing of the past. With the help of people like you, we are supporting 15 communities to build new water supply systems which provide clean water. We have worked in Nepal since 1987 and my colleagues are experts in their field, particularly adapting to the unique situations of different communities. They work closely with communities to understand exactly what they need. Take Man Thami, for example. He is a chairperson on his local water, sanitation and hygiene committee, which we call a WASH committee. He told me that community support is really great. While digging the trench, there were 50 to 60 people gathered for the labor contribution, which I think is a great number. If there were not community support, people would not have gathered and participated. While we were here, Man Thami wants to offer us some local produce.
So the chairperson is giving us the kiwi. So this is kiwi. Nice. कतिवटा दिनुभएको हो
तपाईलाई पनि
बाटो देख्ने मान्छेलाई नि चाहियो नि त चाहियो
यो समात्दैन नि एक्चुअली
Believe it or not, this is my first time eating them. When we visit rural communities, the journey to reach them can be beautiful, but also sometimes a little scary, like crossing high bridges by foot. It's a time for you to make a choice again. So, would you like to walk across a 150-foot high suspension bridge or walk to a beautiful waterfall? Type bridge or waterfall in the chat box now.
Looks like a big gorge. So there's a suspension bridge as well. Oh, it's shaking.
All across my country, I have seen the positive impact clean water, decent toilets, and good hygiene can have. It's where real change starts. It means having the chance to get an education, to earn a living, and improve health. And the local impact of clean water has the potential to ripple across Nepal, transferring millions of lives. But life doesn't always go exactly as planned. Many Nepalese communities are vulnerable to climate-related and other natural disasters, including drought and landslides. Dolakha in particular is ranked high in terms of its risks to climate vulnerability, and it experiences erratic rainfall and drought. And nowhere was this more evident than when a major landslide hit one of the communities in Kalinchok last year.
Hello everyone, I'm on the way to our project site, that is ward number 5 of Kalinchok Rural Municipality. So if you look at the background, just below the cloud, if you see that two kind of white lines, that's a big landslide.
One of the 4 water sources intended for the new supply system was completely covered over. Pipelines were also destroyed, as well as the land my colleagues had identified for reservoir tanks. As a result, we have paused project construction for this village for at least a year, so we can monitor the 3 remaining water sources, assess the best solution, and ensure our next steps are effective and sustainable. I spoke with Pabi Maya Thami, who is chairperson of the water committee in Silafare, about her experience of the landslide.
मेरो नाम चाहिँ पबी माया थामी हो घर चाहिँ मेरै कालिन्चोक गाउँपालिका वडा नम्बर 5 अनि म चाहिँ यो सिलाफारे खानेपानी उपभोक्ता समितिको चाहिँ अध्यक्ष हो मैले चाहिँ जिन्दगीमा यो बाढी आएको पनि देखेको थिएन हल्का फुल्का पहिरोहरु चलेको चाहिँ देखेको थियो बाढी नै चाहिँ त्यसरी सोरेर घर छेउमा आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ यति डर लाग्यो के अब पाइपहरु गाड्ने अब धाराहरु पनि बनाउने भन्ने कुराहरु थियो सर अब त्यो काम गर्दा गर्दै ठ्याक्कै यही पहिरोले नै यस्तो समस्या बनाइदियो के पहिरो आइसके पछाडी जुन त्यो मूल हाम्रो चाहिँ पानी आउने ठाउँ इन्टेकहरु बनाउने ठाउँमा नै पुरै क्षति भयो क्षति भइसके पछाडि त्यो ट्याङ्की बनाउनलाई भनेर चाहिँ त्यो ठाउँ ठाउँमा ढुङ्गाहरू पनि हामीले चाहिँ फुटाएर ट्याङ्कीको छेउतिर राखेको थियो त्यो पनि सबै बगाइदियो अनि त्यो मुहानहरू पनि झन् पुरी नै हाल्यो घरहरू बगाउने भयो जग्गाहरू पनि धेरै गयो मान्छेको हैन 30-40 जना घरधुरी परिवारलाई त अब अहिले सुकुम्बासीकै अवस्थामा चाहिँ पुर्याइदियो यो पहिरोले यो एरियामा चाहिँ आलु खेती हुन्थ्यो आलुहरू लगाउनुहुन्थ्यो यो जग्गा धनीहरूले यतातिर चाहिँ मकै कोदो गहुँहरू रोप्नुहुन्थ्यो अब अर्को वर्ष झनै हामीले अहिले काम गरौँला लगानी गरौँला अर्को वर्ष त्यस्तै अवस्था भयो भने त काम त यता न उता त्यो गरेको नगरे अवस्था हुन्छ जस्तोसुकै परिस्थिति आए पनि त्यसलाई अब बिस्तारै पन्छाउँदै लाँदै कामहरू भनेको ढिलो चाँडो हो भइ नै हाल्छ
As you have seen already, there can be big challenges when we implement projects.
The landslide in Dolakha was one, and of course, so too is the coronavirus pandemic. COVID-19 forced us to pause construction work at a critical time before the monsoon rains set in. During the first pandemic wave, our partners installed life-saving contactless hand-washing facilities, delivered hygiene behavior change campaigns, and worked with authorities to offer support during the crisis. As Nepal continues to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, we continue to adapt our response. Meanwhile, I am so inspired to see progress that is taking place in Dolakha, even if it is slower than planned. We will complete the first 6 water schemes by the middle of 2021. One thing I love to see in action is the technology we use to make sure communities get a reliable supply of clean water. This is where my country's geography can become part of the solution. In Dolakha, our partners are using a gravity flow system. This is a low-cost way to tap mountain springs and use gravity to pipe water to people's homes. But how does it work? First, we choose a high point where we can capture a clean water source. Next, a reservoir tank is designed and built to hold enough water for the community. A series of pipes is connected between the reservoir tank and the community houses. And then gravity does the rest, bringing clean water down to taps, saving journeys and providing clean water. This means no need for expensive pumps. Once these gravity flow systems are in place in Dolakha, the future will look quite different for people there. Those with the most to gain from this project, with your support, will be the women and girls of Dolakha. Anisha is a student, but has to spend hours collecting water, taking her away from her studies. She loves to study and dreams of being a dancer. Anisha told me, sometimes I feel like dancing and at the same time I have to go and fetch water. If water is easily accessible in the taps in our homes, life would be comfortable for all. I would be able to practice dance. I would not have to bathe in an open place and I would not need to fetch water. My time to fetch water will be saved and I can have plenty of time to study. Manita is a mother who farms and cares for her family, but she worries about them getting sick from the dirty water they have to drink. Manita told me, once the project is completed, the water will flow from the tap in my home and my life will be way more comfortable. Since the water will be clean, I will be safe from waterborne diseases. I will be saving my time as well, so I can grow fresh green vegetables for my family. And I also met a grandmother, Vishnumaya, who dreams of a better future for her community and to have comfort and independence in her older years. She told me, I will try to help the water project in whatever way I can. I am very old, but I will definitely go around the village to see the progress and I can show my presence to encourage others. Throughout my career, I have been lucky enough to see firsthand that incredible moment when communities get clean water for the first time. It really is something to witness. Every community celebrates the opening of a new community water point differently, with their own customs and music.
So here's your final choice of the visit. Would you like to see a large community celebration of water or an intimate family celebration?
Hardeni is a big whole community celebration, whilst Kharelthok is an intimate family celebration. Type Hardeni or Kharelthok in the chat box now. If Hardeni or Kharelthok is difficult to type, you can also type community or family.
Today is a big day at this place, and people are so excited to see the water coming from their tap for the first time. They are singing, they are dancing with the music, all sorts of traditional instrument. So let's be with them, how they are going to celebrate. So I'm going to take you there with them. So let's go.
Having access to clean water is not just about one moment of celebration. It is a transformation that lasts a lifetime. The impact of this work will be passed on from one generation to the next, helping these communities to change their own lives forever.
Thank you for joining me on this virtual visit of some of WaterAid's work in Nepal, and for experiencing some of the challenges we have faced along the way.
In my work, I am determined to play my part in building a better future for my country and striving to improve the water situation of communities like Dolakha.
Please stick around for the live Q&A, which will start in just a few moments. Thank you.
Welcome everybody. My name is Tim Wainwright. I'm the Chief Executive of WaterAid, and welcome to Nepal. This is our first ever virtual visit of this kind, but we hope to do many more. So before we start the Q&A, I just want to give you a very, very quick update on the current situation as regards COVID-19 and Nepal. It's particularly vulnerable. Nepal has an open border to India. Lots of migrant workers going between the two countries, and Nepal is not a wealthy country. It doesn't have enough staff or equipment to respond to these kinds of emergencies. And of course, also many people in Nepal still don't have access to water, to decent toilets, to the ability to wash their hands. So with these combined factors, it's probably no surprise that it's now the most, according to the UN, the highest level of transmission of COVID in the world, with half of all COVID tests coming back positive at the moment. So you won't be surprised to know that we're actually in full lockdown at the moment. But luckily, Mani and his colleague Pramita are going to be joining us today live from their homes in Nepal. Bandwidth and Wi-Fi and so on permitting, we hope. And we've already had some questions from you, but we're going to take more just as we go through over the next few minutes. But to get things started, maybe Mani and Pramita, do you want to introduce yourselves first of all?
Okay, can I go first then, team?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Thank you, team, for introducing us first. And I would like to welcome you to Nepal. You have already seen some of the clips from Nepal, so welcome to Nepal again. My name is Mani. I work for WaterAid, and this is my 9th year running, working as a Voices from the Field officer.
And Pramita?
Yeah. Namaste. Thank you, team. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you for joining with us. I'm Pramita Maharjan. I've been working in WaterAid since 2016. I work as a focus country project coordinator in Dolakha, which focuses mainly on bringing clean water, decent toilets, and good hygiene to the people of Soilung and Kalinchok district. Thank you.
Thank you both so much for joining us today. So first question, just to get us started, Mani, tell us a little bit more about how you're experiencing the situation right now, and are people in Nepal getting access to vaccinations?
Team, at the moment, we are in a complete lockdown situation, so we are not allowed to go out anywhere. So today is the end of the first month of lockdown, and then government has even extended 1 week of strict lockdown where they have announced not to even open the grocery shop, so it will be even more intense. So it has affected our life very much. So we can't go anywhere, as you said. I really miss those traveling things, you know, after seeing my own video actually. So it has affected our life very much, and then the death rate is rising, and it has broken the previous record as well. The third variant is also happened to be here now, so that's even more contagious and more deadly. And the death cases are increasing, but at the moment, like when you go through the news, the cases are a little bit decreasing in Kathmandu, but increasing out of Kathmandu. That is a worrying scenario at the moment. So about the vaccination, as a WaterAid colleague, I have received my second vaccination. It's a Chinese vaccine, Verocell. For most of the old age elderly people, they have got the first vaccination, which we received from India, and then actually Nepal bought 2 million vaccines from India, but only we got 1 million, which was given to the first line defense, to security people, government officials, and journalists, and also to other people as well. So, but we have not got the second lot of 1 million vaccine. So we're not sure, as the, in India also there are lots of trouble going on. So we have not received second dose. So that's the case now. But recently there is a news that 1 million vaccine will be getting soon from China. So that's a little bit of relief. So it's a bit not good going on actually.
That's yeah. Well, our thoughts are with you and your families. It must be a very difficult time. But it is encouraging to hear some vaccines are making their way through, yeah. And it's great that you've benefited personally. Okay, getting a few questions in. So I'm turning to Pramita. I've got two for you here. So you've mentioned some of the communities, but somebody is asking how many people has WaterAid worked with so far? How many communities have we worked with? And how do we decide which community to work in? Why one and not another?
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, WaterAid has been working in 34 districts since establishment, but currently we are in Dolakha with 2 municipalities, that is Soilung and Kalinchok, which we have just visited in our virtual tour as well. And another is in Bardia district with 8 municipalities, that is with the washing healthcare facilities. And we have also working in Kavre district with 1 municipality, and that focuses on the washing school activities. And in addition to this, we are working in Sirha district also in one of the municipality, that is Lahan municipality, in a different approach, like in a municipal wide approach, sustainable wash. And in Lahan municipality, we are covering all the wards with all the population. And besides this, with national hygiene immunization of Nepal. We are working in 77 districts with the hygiene promotion in the immunization clinics. So these are the districts where we are currently working in Nepal. And regarding the another questions like how we decide in which community we will be working and in which we are not working, actually it is it is not the what it's solely decision that where to work and where not to work. This is actually determined by the government's national government's data and the human development index. So we review those data and focuses on the lowest access of wash in the lowest rank of in the human development index and the areas where water and sanitation is a bigger issue. So once we review the data and get the information, and then we go with the implementing partner in which area we will be working and to the local government so that we can hold a consultation meeting with the local government to discuss the identification of the unreached and the most vulnerable and marginalized communities through various tools such as like vulnerability assessment and mapping kind of tools. We use that during the our as first intervention periods. Then after once we agreed and we discussed and we identified the areas, the most very important thing which we have to follow and we need to be keep in mind is that the areas where we are intervening must be agreed with the local government because local government is the most powerful government in one in this local government line. And another one is like we have to get approval from the government's regulatory body for the INGOs. So these are the some of the steps which we follow while.
Thank you. No, thank you very much. And it sounds like it's a mixture of obviously working very closely with government, but it's at the basis of it, you're obviously working with the people in the very greatest need, who are the very poorest and have the least access to wash. So thank you. Thank you for that. So turning back to money, do you want to talk about the biggest challenges that communities have faced over the years?
Team, you mean during the lockdown or like as overall?
No, I think the question refers to sort of more in general. Challenges that communities have faced over the years in, I guess, in relation to water, sanitation and hygiene.
Yeah, the biggest challenge, I think, in the hilly areas, if you talk, it's more about the hardship to water, because they have to walk the steep path, quite long hours, and while doing so, they have to spend long hours to collect water, and even the small children, they have to collect water and then they miss their school. So it's more about the hardship of the hardships to collect the water in the hilly areas. But if you talk about the lowland region, like flat land, it's more of the quality of the water. The quality of water is not good. But the worst thing is that the people are not aware about hygiene and sanitation, which really degrades the people's quality of life because of the wash. So that's the main thing. And also it's quite challenging due to the natural disaster like landslide and then flood, so that quite happens in hilly region, and then this is beyond our reach, to control that. So that is also one of the biggest challenge we are facing. Like you have just seen in our virtual tour that one of the project sites was badly affected by the landslide. So such things happens in many places of our country, especially during the rainy season, actually. So that's the biggest challenge.
Thank you. And I suppose it's a related question, but for Pramita, in this very, very diverse country, Nepal, where you have very different environments, how do you decide on the what infrastructure and what methods you will use to give the best long-term supply of water and sanitation to communities?
Okay, thank you. Regarding the regarding the infrastructures, before deciding on the infrastructures, we generally do a assessment of the landscape to see what best options we can take. Mostly we have seen in the video also, like the our areas are mountainous and hilly areas, and most of our sources are natural sources. So in many cases we decide to go with the water system run by the gravity flow system. So once we decide that we'll go with the gravity flow system, then there is then while we design, then we go for the detailed design and survey of the areas, identified areas where we will be constructing or doing our work. So these detailed designs and surveys are done in close consultations with the implementing partners with whom we will be working, and with the local government, so that with our surveys and during our surveys and designing period, we want to be sure that the unreached and vulnerable populations are not left behind. They are also included, so that those the marginalized and unreached people shouldn't be missed with the access of the water facilities. So that is the way we design, like we discuss with the technical team of water aid, with the local government, and with also with the partner organization with whom we work. And what we do in water aid is we design and implement sustainable and most affordable and appropriate structures which could meet the needs of the communities in our project areas.
Thank you, Paramita, and I hope, Nick, that responds to the question that you were asking. And Paramita, who does WaterAid work with? The partnerships that we have. Who else is WaterAid partnering with in Nepal?
Basically, if we see, WaterAid's major role is the technical support, as I already mentioned also, that our role is the technical support, capacity building, and empowering and supporting communities for the critical wash policy works and research. So those are our core work. And yes, we partner with we work in the partnership during our project implementations, and generally the institutions which we are working and which we will be working are the local NGOs and local non-government NGOs who will support us in executing the projects in our intervention areas. So those are the NGOs which we work for the WAS services. And besides that, we work with the federal government, local government, and the ministries related to WASH for our advocacy work. And we also work with the research institutions and academic for the research and for learning kind of things. And we also work in a bigger picture with the development partners also. And in addition to this, like I mentioned earlier also, that we are also working with a government water entity, that is Nepal Water Supply Corporation in Lahan. So in this way, with the advocacy partnerings, with the service delivery partners, we work in a different way like this.
Thank you so much. Yes, and you were alluding there to our partnerships with to achieve influence, and that's in line with our wider goal, I guess, of doing some and influencing the rest. So lovely illustration of that. Mani, in the tour, it was lovely to see you engaging with the communities. But tell me, do you keep in touch with them afterwards, after maybe the work has been finished?
Well, Tim, it depends on the project nature, actually. So if there is no need to do any official relation, then I generally don't do that. I mean, don't communicate. But there are certain places where still I'm in very good communications. Like, for example, we have done this participatory photography workshop in Sinduli, where we trained the young girls about photo story, about the MHM. So I'm still in touch with them and then working with them, and even their family members call me sometimes, and we have a very good chat. So it depends on the project. Like, some of the projects I'm very close with, and sometimes if the project demands, if there are official visits I need to make even after the project completes, then I go and then talk with them. So it feels really good, to look our work. I mean, to look at our completed work and how the life has been transformed from our project. So it depends, actually, but it's really good to go back and see our work and how people are benefiting. It's such a great feeling I have.
And I bet they want you to be cooking that curry again.
Yeah. One of the family members actually invited me in his daughter's marriage also, but I couldn't go. It was around 2-3 years ago, I think. So they really wanted me to be there for her daughter's marriage. And I felt really glad that, they remembered me in such a beautiful time. So I just have to say, sorry, I couldn't go there. It was really far and quite rural. So
Yeah. Very, very rewarding work. Yeah, you're both doing. We've got just time for one final question. So Pramita, tell us what normally happens at the end of the work, when the work is completed, when the project comes to an end. What happens at that point?
Thank you, team. Like when the project ends, we couldn't say that it's end because we are part of the community. Like Mani said that they remember us. So with our intervention in different areas, we are able to demonstrate the sustainable wash in the communities where we work. And our what is strategy in a broader way is like you just mentioned, that doing some influencing the rest, and with that we generate the evidences, and that will definitely help for our advocacy work. So with our demonstration work, we influence the municipalities and the local government to replicate the approaches which we have taken and incorporate those in their planning phases, so that we demonstrate in some places, but in a bigger size the other areas which we couldn't do, so that the government can do that. So we really work in an advocacy part, in the influencing part with the local government to incorporate those replication or those approaches which we had taken in their planning processes. One is that this we don't really look for the end of the project. We do this kind of things in the starting of the project, which will continue till the end of the project. And besides that, another thing is like while working in WASH, we work with the water users committees, who are our core strength for the sustainability and the better functionality of the water supply systems. From the starting of the project, we capacitated the water users committee members in various trainings, like the caretakers training, so that they can provide they can do some very small kind of repairments by themselves. That is one thing we capacitate to the water users committees. And another is like we also capacitate them so that they can locally manage the water supply systems by themselves. And in addition to this, we are in the one household, one policy. With our water supply schemes, the communities will get the water in their own premises with the metering systems. So Water Users Committee will support Water Users Committee to prepare the operation and maintenance fund from the tariffs they receive from the users, so that if there are some small kind of repairments they can do by themselves, which will definitely support them in the functionality of the water supply systems, which reflects to the greater sustainability of the water supply systems. And besides this, also from WaterAid side, we do this post-implementation monitoring survey also for the schemes which are completed 3 to 5 years. So with that also, we try to follow up with the users, communities, that how the schemes or how the wash services which we have supported are going on. So those are the things we generally do at the end of the project.
Thank you very much indeed. That focus on sustainability, on keeping it working, is so vital, and really the thoroughness with which you do it's really inspirational. So I'm afraid that's all we've got time for, but I wanted to thank Mani and Pranita, and of course your colleagues who are not with us today, and the partners and communities that we work with in Nepal, for sharing this with us. It's been really, really inspirational. Those of you who've joined us today, there's going to be an email following up this with more information and links and so on. And also, we would really, we always love to hear what you think, but on this occasion, it's extra interesting for us because we've not done this before, and we hope to do this with other countries. So we would really like to hear both what you liked, but also anything that we can get a little bit better on in this experience. And thank you to everybody who's joined us today. Thank you for being with us in this absolutely vital work. It's lovely to see it, isn't it? And it's fantastic that you are supporting us in this journey. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nepal. See you again soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Thank you so much.